Welcome everybody, and thanks for joining me today. I am Miranda and you're here with May Yoga. Today we are actually going to be doing a bit of a focus practice. This will be really good for people who are athletes that maybe have a little tightness in their ankles in particular. So any of my runners out there, my dancers, people who tend to injure their feet a lot, this will be really good. Or just if you want to strengthen up the knees, calves, ankles, and feet part of your bodies, this would be great. If this is your first time practicing with me, I ask that you look in the description below this video and find a link for a separate video called Tips for a Safe Yoga Practice and watch that first. For props today, really the main prop that you're going to need that will help will be a yoga strap or a substitute. And of course, that beautiful water. This will not be a very intense practice, but you never know when you might need some water, right? Okay, to begin, we're going to go into Dandasana, which is staff pose. So you're going to release your legs straight out in front of you. You want to get on those sit bones, those little bones in your booty, and kind of ground those down so you have a good seat. You want your feet to be flexed to begin, and just open those shoulders, holding here for a moment, just activating all of your legs. Your feet are very flexed, you've got your legs really engaged here. Holding here for a moment. And then just to begin to loosen up the ankles a bit. You know, in Namaste, we bring our hands together like this. I want you to do that with your feet, Namaste feet. So this is an inversion. You're going to try to bring the bottoms of your feet together to touch. It's okay if you can't get very far in this inversion, if you're just able to barely turn it in. That's fine. Again, the more you practice it, the more flexible your ankles will become. So you're doing an inversion right now. And you should feel a really nice opening, obviously on the outside of the ankles. Holding here for a moment. Try not to slump here, really try to keep your core engaged, getting a little bonus work there in your upper body. And then releasing that, bringing your feet, normal flexion here. And now you're going to do an E version, try to do reverse Namaste. So just think about drawing the outside of your feet outward. All right, this is a funky one because normally we never do our ankles like this, but when you improve this side-to-side movement, the beautiful thing about working into our ankles is that we're preventing injury. Okay, the more flexibility you have in an area, think about it, if you're very tight and you try to turn something really sharply, you're more likely to injure yourself. But if you have that flexibility, if you have that give, and something happens like you twist your ankle on a loose stone or something, you're less likely to become injured. So this is the importance of kind of bringing that eversion in. All right, inhale, and then exhale. Bring those feet normal. And now we're going to go into a lovely little, what I call a foot shake. So, you know, handshake, this is a foot shake. So I'm going to work on my right foot, so you can see this from the camera angle. Bringing the right foot to the ground at first, and then picking it up and crossing it so that it is over on top of that left leg. Keeping this foot very stable here, you're going to work here, but you want to always protect those knees, so keeping that flexion in your feet here. If you need a little bow, like a little cushion here to support your knee if you're not feeling very steady, go ahead and grab a pillow or a block or something. And then you're going to think about shaking hands with your feet. You're going to weave the fingers in between your little toes and just kind of making space, opening up your toes here. Getting that little webbing between the toes, getting your fingers as far down as you can, and then grabbing on here, doing little squeezes, little massages. You can also use your right hand to kind of massage. And then you're going to think about twisting the ball of your foot in the opposite direction of the heel. And kind of using both hands here, waking up the feet. And then finally, just for this last few moments, really open here, flex the foot, and point it. Being careful of this knee here, just working here, getting a little bit more openness in our feet. This would be a really nice thing for you to do if you just have a few minutes before you go for a run. This is a really nice way to activate your feet. All right. Nice. Okay, gently release, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then switching, releasing the right leg down. Left foot comes in, first making sure you're standing up nice and tall. and then bringing that left ankle on top of the right leg. Moving to the other side here, always being mindful of this knee, weaving the fingers in between the spaces of your toes. There we go. And then just doing a few squeezes again. Give a little love to our beautiful feet. I don't think our feet get enough attention, but we put a lot of pressure on them. It's very important that we show appreciation. All right, so start to, using both hands, kind of twisting your foot from the ball to the heel. Just kind of bringing a little bit more play, more space in there. And then flexing very strongly and curving the toes. Just working here. Very nice. So just these few moments here, doing this foot shake, as I call it, can really help wake up your feet in a nice manner. So releasing here, releasing that leg back down. Shake out the knees. And next we're going to be using the yoga strap or substitute, whatever you have. You're going to roll to the side, and we're going to go to Virasana, which is hero's pose. Hero's pose, I'm going to show you without the strap first. You're going to be sitting with your feet together, sitting on your heels. The problem is in Virasana, what happens a lot is people tend to sickle out their ankles, so which means that your toes come together, but your feet fall open. And that's not what we're wanting today. We're wanting to really work on these ankles. We want to keep that straight line. So this is where our lovely yoga strap comes in play. Now to do this, you don't want to fasten it so that you can not easily release it if you need to, but you want to just loop it around above your ankles to keep the feet together. I'm going to show you from this little side angle here. So you're going to loop the strap around, maybe once, maybe twice. The lovely thing about the yoga strap is you can put it through the little buckle and you can hold it tight, but you can also really easily release it. So you want to have the feet obviously together. You want the strap or the belt to go above the ankle, but low enough where you can make sure that it has a good hold on it. And then sitting up on those knees, on those shins. For just a moment, letting the feet point back so you can kind of make sure that you've got that strap nice and snug. Obviously, you're not doing it so tight that you're going to lose circulation in your feet, but you do want it snug enough, again, so that your feet don't sickle out, so that they actually stay together. Okay? From here, I like to just kind of use the strap, kind of wrap my hand around it a few times to make sure that I can pull it tighter if I feel it loosening, if I feel my feet falling open. And then from Virasana, you're going to go into, we're working on the ankles, so we're going to go into a dorsiflexion of your ankles. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to rock forward, and you're going to bring the balls of the feet with your toes pointed forward to the mat. Making sure that your strap is nice and snug here. And just sitting back on your heels. This is a very, our holding pose, but it's still very active because you can probably feel your feet really opening in that lovely way in this dorsiflexion. All right, so you're pressing back on the balls of the feet. And you can feel that stretch throughout. And then we're going to hold here for 2 more breaths before we go into a plantar flexion in our ankles, okay? So sitting up nice and straight. And now to move to the plantar flexion, you're going to think about like a bird on a branch, like an eagle, and how they kind of grip the branch. You're going to think about your toes as the talons of the bird. It's the best imagery I can give for you. You're going to think about pushing with those toes. Okay, you're staying up with the feet are flexed, but you're bringing that plantar flexion into the ankles from the front of the feet. All right, so really think about gripping that branch like your strong eagle, and you're pushing those toes forward. Being very active here. You can kind of feel, especially that you're really activating, you're energizing your feet. And again, this is a great warm-up if you're about to go for a run or go dancing. You're doing a lot of activity in the ankles and feet. One more slow breath here. And then now we're going to release to the top of the feet. So rocking forward slightly, pointing the toes back, coming down the tops of the feet, making sure again that that strap is snug. Holding here. Settling back, keeping those heels tight together. Just getting a nice stretch to the top of the feet. Last breath here. Very nice. So now we're going to kind of mermaid ourselves over again, falling over to one side and gently release that strap. Again, if you are going to be incorporating a yoga practice into your life, this is one of the props that I cannot emphasize the importance of having, really, especially if you're a beginner, because it's going to help you get the alignment of poses correctly. It's going to help stabilize you so you feel more secure and your body progresses in a very natural manner. So again, I know I love my yoga straps. I can honestly say it's probably one of the best investments you can make if you really do want to bring yoga practice into your life. Okay? So putting that off to the side, we are done with that for the day. Next we're going to move into butterfly, which yes, it is one of my favorite poses. And the nice thing about it, you bring your feet together and you let your knees fall open. The lovely thing about this pose is that you can do so much in it. You can do spinal twist, you can do arm work, you can do cat-cows, like you can do so much with this seated position. You can meditate if it comes to that point where you feel like you really can hold it for a meditation. What I think is so great, in addition to all of that, is that you can work with your knee, with your ankles and your feet here as well. So it's right in front of you, you can kind of do a little foot massage, okay? You can do that inversion and eversion even a bit to work into the ankle flexibility, making more space here, okay? I actually had a teacher in India that could walk on the outside of his feet. He could do an inversion and actually walk where his outside of his ankle was on the ground. And he was so flexible that it didn't cause him pain. He never injured himself. So I'm not there yet. I really would love to be. But yeah, it's amazing when you do bring that mobility into these joints without hyperextending, like, oh, not overdoing it, but like a nice range of mobility. You're reducing the chance for pain and injury, especially later in life. Okay? So being in butterfly just for a few moments really helps obviously open up the groin and kind of stretch out those beautiful knees, but you can always work with it with your feet, whatever you feel is good here, okay? So just taking a few last little breaths, massaging the ankles for a moment perhaps. Next we're going to move up to a downward dog. Okay, we're going to come to this very easily, and it's going to be a downward dog variation where I want you to keep your knees bent, your heels very lifted, and you're working into that ankle and calf area. Okay, so draw the knees together from butterfly, bring them down to the side, come into this nice and gentle, coming up to Virasana for a moment, and then bringing your hands in front of you, shoulder width distance apart, fingers are nice and spread, come up on the knees, walk those knees back, tuck the toes under, lift up to down dog, keeping a deep bend in those knees. Staying up on the ball of the feet, and just feeling a nice opening here into the back, of course. You can pedal the feet out, working those ankles, working the calves. Bending one knee while the opposite heel comes close to the earth, and then switching. Don't forget that you're moving your breath normally here, not holding your breath, not straining your face. Make sure that your face stays relaxed. In the last few moments, you can straighten those legs if you like for these last few breaths. Dropping those heels back towards the earth, pulling in the belly, walking the feet to get towards the front a bit if you want to deepen that stretch. Nice. Next we're going to move into Ardha Hanumanasana, which is half monkey. So you're going to lift up, let's do the left leg first. Let's lift up that left leg, three-legged downward dog, and then swing it softly to the front to like an Anjaneyasana low lunge. Drop that right knee. Now you can stay up on the ball of that right foot Or you can press the shin down if you want to kind of support the knees a bit, take the weight out of those knees a bit more. From here, you're going to start to straighten that left leg, folding over this front leg, making this half monkey pose, getting a nice, beautiful stretch throughout this left leg. Holding here, letting the head relax down. And then for the last few breaths, you can stay here, or if you want to flex that left foot, bringing a bit more focus into the calf muscle here. The hips sink back a little further. Nice. Bringing that left foot flat to the mat. We're going to work our way back to our down dog so we can switch sides. So pick up that knee on the back leg. Open the hands nice and wide. Stepping back into down dog. Pedal the feet out for a few moments. And then we're going to work on the right side. So inhale the right foot up. Exhale, bring it gently to the front. Into that low lunge. Dropping that back knee, staying on the ball of that back foot, or pressing the shin into the mat to take the weight out of the knee. Okay? When you're stable here, begin to push into that right foot, straightening the right leg, not locking that right knee. You can have a little bit of play, a little bit of bend here, but keeping it very active to really get a beautiful stretch into the back of this right leg. Okay? Having your hands stay on the mat to give you your stability. Drop that head down. You want the belly to come towards the top of that right leg. Kind of stabilize you there. And then, for these last few breaths, staying here if you wish, or engaging that foot, flexing the right foot, getting a deeper stretch into the calf. Again, relaxing the face. On that inhale, bringing that foot back down to the earth. And then we're going to work to that last downward dog of this practice. So picking up that back knee, hands open to the mat, step the right foot back. Last time pedaling these feet out, walking them out. Should be feeling a lot more open in these beautiful ankles of ours into our feet. Inhale here. Exhale, release. Coming down to the mat. And our last thing is going to be standing. I recommend for this, we're going to do calf raises. So I recommend being near a wall to give you that stability that you might need, or just the feel of security that you get when you're near a wall on any balance. Okay? So I will meet you in a standing position. Okay, beautiful people. Finishing off this gentle and focused practice on our feet, because I want us to finish with calf raises. This is a lovely way to strengthen our whole legs, but especially into our ankles, which is our main focus today. I actually remember doing gymnastics as a kid, and this was one of the exercises that I was told to do every day from my gym coach. So it's a really, really nice way to kind of bring more mobility into that area and also strengthen it. It's nice to be near a wall or like by a chair or something that you can hold on to, so that you make sure that these raises are done in a very controlled manner. So I recommend that. Use a little bit of security kind of thing. So you can either be standing near a wall, or again, chair or a piece of furniture, dresser or something. We're going to be doing 6 of each variety here. So we're going to be doing 6 with your feet together, coming up on both feet, balls of both feet. And then we're going to be doing 6 where you're only on the left foot. The right is just raised beside your left leg. 6 again together, and then 6 switching to the right foot. So kind of doing a little interval here. Okay, so bring the feet pretty close together. All right. Hand is holding on, or hands are holding on. Even if you want to do this from the side, it's fine. Okay. And you're going to be inhaling when you raise up, exhale when you come down. All right, 6 all together with your feet, both feet. All right, inhale, come up, and exhale. Now you can make these as slow as you want. I advise you not to do them too fast. You're not popping up here. You're doing this in a controlled manner. But you can go much slower if that's what you feel. It's really, really nice to do it that way too. Last one with the feet together. And exhale. Switching over to perhaps the right side to start. You can all come together. I'll be your mirror. So inhale, raise up. And it's more challenging when it's just one foot. So you really need that balance of the wall or the piece of furniture. All right. If it's too much on that one ankle, you can keep the big toe down on the foot that you're not using to kind of give you balance, but try not to be pushing into that big toe. All right. Nice. Last one. And now we're going to be bringing the feet back together, doing both feet for the next set. On 6. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fall. Your upper body is relaxed, but of course you're not slouching over or anything, right? You always want to have good posture. But this part of your body is pretty stable, except for that hand or hands that are holding on and helping keep you sturdy. And last one. Inhale up and down. Last set will be on that left. So maybe coming up with that right big toe touching if you need that for balance. Or maybe just raising it all the way up if your ankles feel sturdy enough for that. And obviously we're just doing intervals of 6 today, but the more you do this and more time you have, maybe you can build this up. Okay, but starting with a 6, 6, 6, 6 is a nice little beginner. Very nice. And release the feet. Walk it out, shake it out, whatever you need to do. And like I said, you can do more of those, but don't overdo it, especially if you're new to yoga and you're feeling like there's some tightness in that area. Kind of gently proceed with this. Okay? So to finish, we're going to just come to a seated position, back on the mat. I'll see you there. Okay, returning to the mat for this final pose in today's practice. This is going to be Padmasana, which is Lotus pose. And the reason I wanted to do that at the end is because it can be quite challenging in the ankles. It does require quite a bit of inversion. So I wanted to do this after we'd already strengthened, warmed it all up, okay? To do Padmasana, you start in just an easy cross-legged seat. And then one leg at a time, we're going to work here. You're going to pick up one foot, and you're going to bring the outside of that foot towards the opposite hip, okay? So if this is where you're at today, this is Ardha Padmasana, half lotus, and that's fine. If it feels like you're like, whoa, this is good, I'm good, I don't want to go any further, stay here. And you can always release the foot and then do the other foot with this leg down to the ground. So it's up to you, obviously listen to your body. If you want to go into the full Padmasana though, you're going to pull the other leg out front and then cross it over that leg. Again, the outside of the foot comes towards that crevice in your hip, okay, in front of the hip. And you'll see right now that you have to you're inverting the ankles. You're getting a great stretch here into that space, right? And this is actually a lovely pose to do when you're meditating and everything as well. As you advance in the practice, you can hold this and it really makes that anchor for you for a lovely meditation. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with this. You can sit and play around, massage the ankles, massage the feet, or if you're ready to tackle the rest of your day, I'm leaving you to it. And I thank you very much for joining me for this focus practice. If you did enjoy your time with me today, obviously I would appreciate a like on this video, any feedback below, and of course subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you again on the mat very soon. Namaste.